properties, and use. Chemistry is a pure science that deals with the uses of matter. In our everyday life, we encounter chemistry, and that is why chemistry is very, very important for us to study. Chemistry is one of the pure sciences that we are supposed to write in WAEC, NECE, or JAMB. The others are biology and physics. So why do we study chemistry? When the palm wine is freshly gotten from the palm tree, it tastes very sweet, but after some time, it sours. So what makes the palm wine to sour? Chemistry. You have a nail. A newly bought nail or a newly made nail is normally very shiny. But after some time, the nail gets rusted and looks exactly like this. What causes the rusting? Chemistry. When you're sick, you buy drugs, you take drugs. So, what are the elements or compounds that make up the drugs? So that when you take them into your body, they function effectively in order to make you to get well. The process of making these drugs is also chemistry. Life, in our everyday life, that has to do with chemistry, and that's why we study chemistry. So as a way of introduction, we are going to be looking at the definition of chemistry. Chemistry is a pure science that deals with the composition. What are the makeup components of the drugs that we take? The chemicals that we use, the detergents. What is the composition? What are those elements that come together to make it up? Properties. How does these chemicals, how do the chemicals, how do they react? What are their properties? And uses. What can they be used for? So chemistry is a pure science that deals with the composition, properties, and the uses of matter. Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space, just like the chemicals that we're talking about. So now, in our everyday life, we encounter chemistry. So what are those things that happen in life that are actually chemistry? We'll talk about making palm wine sour, just like I showed you earlier. Rusting of nails, just like I showed you earlier. And drugs production, how you go about producing your drug. Also, the process of cooking our food, lighting matches, and burning of firewood. All these are chemistry happening in nature. So in time, we are going to be studying all these in details. And that is chemistry. So when they ask you in class, why are you studying chemistry? You study chemistry because you want to understand all these that happen in your everyday life. And chemistry is a pure science because it goes through the normal process that every pure science goes through in its study, such as observation, carrying out of experiment, formulation of hypotheses, formulation of laws, and taking down records. So all the processes that every pure science goes through. Chemistry is a very, very important subject, and that is why we study it in secondary chemistry. What are those things that we can use chemistry to do? If you want to grow food in the farm, we need fertilizers to help our crops to grow very well and in a very healthy form. We also need insecticides to kill the weeds so that they don't disturb our crops. So you need chemicals because it is with these chemicals that we make the fertilizer as well as the insecticides. If we want to build a house, we need concrete, we need cement, we need tiles. All these things are made from some chemicals. So we need to study them in chemistry. In military and space travel, we need to manufacture ammunition. the gunpowder and the ammunition that we need for our military. We also need chemistry to know the way to produce them. In medicine and in pharmaceuticals, where we produce drugs, we need to know the right chemicals to mix together in order to get. So all these things are the uses of chemistry. And as a way of getting down your notes, I have them outlined on the board. Uses of, in order